Welcome to USA Coin History World, the place where hidden treasures come to life and ordinary coins turn into extraordinary stories. Today, we're diving into a fascinating journey through 4 Kennedy half dollars that many people overlook, but collectors quietly search for every day. Before you skip or think these coins are common, you might want to check your pockets, your drawers, or even your old coin jars, because some of these will surprise you in ways you never expected. Let's begin with the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar. The 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar stands as one of the most historically significant modern American coins, representing a major transition period in United States coinage. Minted at the United States Mint facility in Denver, this coin carries a D mint mark, identifying its origin and linking it to a time when rising silver prices had already forced the government to remove silver from circulating half dollars. By 1971, the composition of the Kennedy half dollar had fully shifted away from precious metal, making the 1971 D issue one of the earliest copper-nickel clad versions of the series. The Kennedy half dollar itself was first introduced in 1964, shortly after the assassination of John F. Kennedy, whose portrait appears on the obverse of the coin. The public reaction to Kennedy's death was profound, and the decision to honor him on circulating coinage was made with unusual speed. The original 1964 issues were struck in 90% silver, but as the price of silver rose and coin hoarding increased, the composition was altered. By 1971, all circulating Kennedy half dollars, including the Denver minted 1971 D, were struck in a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of a pure copper core bonded between two outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. This gave the coin durability for everyday use, while significantly reducing production costs. The design of the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar remains faithful to the original concept created by two renowned artists associated with the United States Mint. The obverse was designed by Gilroy Roberts, who based the portrait on his earlier medallic work depicting President Kennedy. The image shows a left-facing bust of Kennedy, with finely detailed hair and a dignified expression that reflects both strength and calm. The inscriptions include Liberty across the top, In God We Trust below the chin, and the date 1971 position at the bottom. The mint mark D is located just to the left of the truncation of the neck, indicating its production in Denver. The reverse of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparo, features a heraldic eagle adapted from the presidential seal of the United States. The eagle holds an olive branch in its right talon and a bundle of arrows in its left, symbolizing the nation's desire for peace but readiness for defense. Above the eagle's head is a cluster of stars, while a ring of 50 stars surrounds the entire design, representing the states of the Union. The inscriptions United States of America and half dollar frame the design, along with the motto, E Pluribus Unum. This powerful imagery reinforces the patriotic identity of the coin and ties it closely to American national symbolism. From a technical perspective, the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters and weighs approximately 11.34 grams. The clad composition results in a coin with a distinctive layered edge, where the copper core is visible between the outer silvery layers. This visual feature became a hallmark of post 1965 U.S. coinage, and remains in use today. The coin was struck using standard business strike methods, intended primarily for circulation rather than collectors, although many examples were preserved due to the declining use of half dollars in everyday transactions. The mintage of the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar was substantial, with over 300 million pieces produced. This high mintage reflects both the capacity of the Denver Mint and the continued demand for half dollars at the time, even as their actual circulation began to diminish. By the early 1970s, half dollars were no longer widely used in daily commerce, often being set aside by the public as souvenirs or collectible items. As a result, many 1971 D coins survived in relatively good condition compared to other denominations that experienced heavier wear. Despite its large mintage, the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar holds interest for collectors due to variations in condition and strike quality. Coins in heavily circulated condition are generally common and carry little premium over face value, but uncirculated examples with strong luster and minimal marks can command higher prices. The quality of strike can vary, with some coins showing weak details in areas such as Kennedy's hair or the eagle's feathers. Collectors often seek well-struck examples with sharp details and attractive surfaces. Another important aspect of collecting the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar involves the study of die varieties and minting anomalies. While major varieties are less prominent for this issue compared to some earlier coins, minor differences in die polishing, doubling, and other characteristics can be found. These subtle variations add an additional layer of interest for advanced collectors who enjoy searching for unique or unusual examples. The market value of a 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar depends largely on its condition. Circulated coins are typically worth only their face value of 50 cents, as the absence of silver means they have no intrinsic metal value beyond their nominal denomination. However, uncirculated coins in mint state condition can range from a few dollars to higher amounts, depending on their grade. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services may achieve significantly higher prices, especially if they exhibit exceptional eye appeal. The historical context of the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar is particularly important. It represents the first full year in which the half dollar was produced without any silver content for general circulation, marking the end of an era in American coinage. This transition was driven by economic factors, including rising silver prices and the need to maintain a stable coin supply. As such, the 1971 D issue symbolizes the adaptation of U.S. coinage to modern economic realities. In addition to its historical significance, the 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar reflects broader changes in American society during the early 1970s. Now, let's move to the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar. The 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar is a representative example of modern United States coinage, reflecting both continuity in design and changing patterns in how coins were used by the public. It was struck at the Denver facility of the United States Mint, identified by the small d mint mark on the obverse of the coin. By the time this coin was produced, the Kennedy half dollar series had already undergone significant transformation from an original silver composition into a durable copper-nickel clad format, which had been standard for circulation issues since 1971. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964 as a tribute to John F. Kennedy, whose sudden assassination in 1963 left a deep impact on the nation. The coin quickly became a symbol of remembrance and national identity. Although the early issues contained silver, economic pressures and rising metal costs led to the removal of silver from circulating coins. By 1981, the half dollar was firmly established as a clad coin, composed of an inner core of pure copper bonded between outer layers of copper and nickel. This composition gave the coin strength and resistance to wear, making it suitable for long-term circulation, even though its actual use in everyday transactions had already begun to decline significantly. The obverse design of the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar was created by Gilroy Roberts. It features a left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, based on a medal Roberts had previously designed. The portrait captures Kennedy's youthful and confident image, with finely engraved details in the hair and facial features. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions Liberty at the top, In God We Trust below the chin, and the date 1981 at the bottom. The mint mark D appears just to the left of the truncation of the neck, signifying production in Denver. The reverse design, by Frank Gasparo, displays a heraldic eagle derived from the presidential seal. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, symbolizing peace and strength. Above the eagle's head is a grouping of stars, while a ring of 50 stars encircles the entire design, representing the states of the Union. The inscriptions United States of America and half dollar frame the reverse, along with the national motto, E Pluribus Unum. This design has remained consistent throughout the Kennedy half dollar series, reinforcing its identity and connection to American symbolism. Technically, the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar has a diameter of approximately 30.6 millimeters and a weight of 11.34 grams. The reeded edge reveals a copper core sandwiched between the outer clad layers, a characteristic feature of post-1965 U.S. coins. The coin was struck using standard minting techniques intended for circulation, though by this time half dollars were rarely seen in daily use. Instead, many were stored in bank vaults, collected by individuals, or included in coin sets. The mintage of the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar was substantial, with hundreds of millions of coins produced to meet potential demand. However, despite the high mintage figures, actual circulation was limited. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, the half dollar had largely fallen out of favor in everyday commerce. Vending machines, cash registers, and consumer habits were more suited to smaller denominations, leading to reduced use of 50-cent coins. As a result, many 1981 D half dollars remained in relatively high-grade condition because they experienced little wear from circulation. From a collective perspective, the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar is considered a common coin, but it still holds value depending on its condition. Circulated examples are generally worth their face value of 50 cents, as they contain no silver or precious metal content. However, uncirculated coins with strong luster and minimal contact marks can command a modest premium. Coins that achieve high grades from professional grading services, especially those with exceptional eye appeal, may be worth significantly more. One of the key factors affecting the desirability of the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar is strike quality. Some coins from this period exhibit weaker details, particularly in the higher of the design, such as Kennedy's hair or the eagle's breast feathers. Collectors often seek well-struck specimens with sharp details and clean surfaces. Additionally, coins with original mint luster and minimal toning are generally more attractive to collectors. Another area of interest is the potential for minor varieties and minting errors. While the 1981 D issue is not widely known for major varieties, small differences such as die cracks, double dies, or other anomalies can occasionally be found. These variations add an element of discovery for collectors who carefully examine their coins. Even minor errors can increase a coin's appeal, especially if they are visually noticeable or well documented. The historical context of the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar provides insight into its significance. It represents a time when the United States had fully transitioned away from precious metal coinage for everyday circulation. This shift was driven by economic realities, including the rising cost of silver and the need to maintain a stable supply of coins. The 1981 D issue is part of a broader trend toward modern, cost-effective coin production methods that continue to this day. In addition to its economic context, the coin reflects the enduring legacy of President Kennedy. Even decades after his presidency, his image on a half dollar continued to serve as a reminder of his influence and the ideals he represented. The consistent design of the coin over the years underscores the lasting impact of his legacy on American culture and history. Collectors often include the 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar in complete sets of a series, which span from 1964 to the present. These collections allow enthusiasts to observe changes in composition, minting techniques, and overall coin quality over time. The 1981 D coin is an essential part of this progression, representing the mature phase of the clad era. Over time, interest in Kennedy half dollars has remained steady, with collectors drawn to the series for its historical significance and accessibility. The 1981 D issue, while common, offers an opportunity for collectors to acquire high-quality examples without significant cost. This makes it an ideal coin for beginners, as well as experienced numismatists seeking to complete their collections. Next up is the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar. The 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar is an important issue within the long-running Kennedy half dollar series, reflecting both the stability of modern United States coinage and a unique moment when circulation coins became unexpectedly scarce in higher grades. This coin was struck at the Denver facility of the United States Mint and carries the D mint mark on the obverse, identifying its place of origin. Although it shares the same basic design and composition as other Kennedy half dollars of the clad era, the 1983 D issue has developed a special reputation among collectors due to the circumstances surrounding its release and distribution. The Kennedy half dollar itself was first introduced in 1964 to honor John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963. The coin quickly became a national symbol of remembrance, and its design has remained largely unchanged ever since. By 1983, The series had long since transitioned away from silver, and all circulating half dollars were struck in a copper-nickel clad composition. This composition consists of a pure copper core bonded between outer layers of copper and nickel, giving the coin durability and a silvery appearance without relying on precious metals. The obverse design of the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar was created by Gilroy Roberts. It features a left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, based on a medallic portrait Roberts had previously designed. The portrait is detailed and expressive, showing Kennedy with neatly combed hair and composed, confident expression. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions Liberty along the top edge, In God We Trust positioned below the chin, and the date 1983 at the bottom. The D mint mark appears just to the left of the neck truncation, indicating that the coin was produced in Denver. The reverse design, created by Frank Gasparo, depicts a heraldic eagle inspired by the presidential seal of the United States. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, symbolizing the balance between peace and military strength. Above the eagle's head is a cluster of stars, while a ring of 50 stars surrounds the entire design, representing the states of the Union. The inscriptions United States of America and half dollar encircle the design, along with the motto E Pluribus Unum. This reverse has remained consistent throughout the Kennedy half-dollar series, reinforcing its patriotic symbolism. In terms of physical specifications, the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar has a diameter of approximately 30.6 millimeters and a weight of 11.34 grams. The edge of the coin is reeded, and the copper core is visible between the outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. This layered edge is a defining characteristic of clad coinage introduced in the mid-1960s and continued into the 1980s and beyond. The mintage of the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar was relatively high, with tens of millions of coins produced. However, what makes this issue particularly interesting is not its mintage figure, but its distribution. In 1982 and 1983, the United States Mint made a significant change by not issuing traditional uncirculated coin sets. As a result, collectors who wanted high-quality examples of coins from these years had to obtain them directly from circulation. This led to a situation where most surviving coins show signs of wear or handling, and truly uncirculated examples are much harder to find than one might expect based on the mintage numbers. Because of this unusual circumstance, the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar is often considered a semi-key date within the clad series when it comes to high-grade specimens. While circulated examples remain common and are typically worth only their face value of 50 cents, uncirculated coins with strong luster and minimal contact marks can command significantly higher premiums. Coins that achieve high grades from professional grading services, particularly those with exceptional eye appeal, are especially desirable among collectors. Another factor influencing the value of the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar is strike quality. Coins from this period sometimes exhibit weaker details, particularly in the higher the design, such as Kennedy's hair and the eagle's feathers. Collectors often seek well-struck examples with sharp details and clean surfaces. Finding such coins can be challenging, which adds to their appeal and value. As with many coins, the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar may also display minor varieties and minting errors. While no major varieties are widely recognized for this issue, collectors occasionally encounter double dies, die cracks, or other anomalies. These variations can add interest and value, particularly if they are visually distinct or well documented. The historical context of the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar is also worth considering. By the early 1980s, the half dollar had largely fallen out of everyday use in the United States. Changes in consumer behavior, the rise of vending machines designed for smaller denominations, and the general inconvenience of carrying larger coins all contributed to its decline in circulation. Despite this, the coin continued to be produced, reflecting its symbolic importance and the ongoing demand from collectors. The absence of official mint sets in 1982 and 1983 has made coins from these years, including the 1983 D. half dollar, particularly interesting to numismatists. This gap in mint set production created a unique collecting challenge and has had a lasting impact on the availability of high-grade coins from this period. As a result, the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar occupies a distinctive place within the series. Collectors today often include the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar in complete sets of Kennedy half dollars, which span from 1964 to the present. Building such a set allows collectors to observe the evolution of the series, from its silver beginnings to its modern clad composition. The 1983 D issue is an essential part of this progression, representing a period of both continuity and change. Over time, the perception of the 1983 D. Kennedy half dollar has evolved. While it was once seen as just another common circulation coin, it is now recognized for its relative scarcity and high grades and its unique historical context. This has increased its appeal among collectors, particularly those who focus on assembling high-quality sets. Finally, we arrive at the 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar. The 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar is a modern United States coin that reflects the long-standing continuity of the Kennedy half dollar series, while also highlighting how the role of this denomination has changed over time. It was struck at the Denver facility of the United States Mint and carries the D Mint mark on the obverse, indicating its origin. By 1997, the half dollar was no longer widely used in everyday commerce, yet it continued to be produced primarily for collectors, bank orders, and limited circulation needs. The Kennedy half dollar series began in 1964 as a tribute to John F. Kennedy, following his assassination in 1963. The coin quickly became one of the most recognized and emotionally significant pieces of U.S. currency. Over the decades, while many aspects of coinage evolved, the design of the Kennedy half dollar remained largely unchanged, preserving its historical identity and symbolic importance. By the time the 1997 D issue was minted, the coin had long since transitioned away from silver and was produced in a copper-nickel clad composition. The composition of the 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar consists of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper and nickel. This gives the coin its silvery appearance while maintaining durability and reducing production costs. The coin has a diameter of approximately 30.6 millimeters and weighs 11.34 grams, consistent with other clad half dollars produced since 1971. The reeded edge reveals a copper core, a standard feature of modern U.S. coins. The obverse design of the coin was created by Gilroy Roberts. It features a left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, capturing his youthful appearance and composed expression. The design is based on a metal Roberts had previously created and has remained unchanged since the coin's introduction. The inscriptions include Liberty across the top, In God We Trust below the chin, and the date 1997 at the bottom. The D Mint mark appears to the left of Kennedy's neck, identifying the coin as a Denver Mint issue. The reverse design, by Frank Gasparo, depicts a heraldic eagle adapted from the presidential seal of the United States. The eagle holds an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, symbolizing peace and strength. Above the eagle's head is a cluster of stars, while a ring of 50 stars surrounds the design, representing the states of the Union. The inscriptions United States of America and half dollar frame the reverse, along with the motto, E Pluribus Unum. This design has remained consistent throughout the series, reinforcing its patriotic symbolism. The mintage of the 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar was relatively moderate compared to earlier decades, with tens of millions of coins produced. However, unlike coins from the 1960s and early 1970s, most of these pieces did not see heavy circulation. By the late 20th century, the half dollar had largely fallen out of everyday use due to changes in consumer habits, the rise of electronic payments, and the preference for smaller denominations. As a result, many 1997 D half dollars were stored in bank vaults, included in rolls for collectors, or saved by individuals, leading to a higher survival rate in uncirculated condition. From a collector's standpoint, the 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar is generally considered a common coin, but its value can vary depending on condition. Circulated examples are typically worth face value, as they contain no silver or precious metal. Uncirculated coins, especially those with strong luster and minimal contact marks, can command a small premium. High-grade specimens certified by professional grading services may be worth more, particularly if they exhibit exceptional eye appeal. One aspect that collectors pay close attention to is the quality of the strike. While minting technology had improved by the 1990s, variations in strike quality can still be found. Some coins may show softer details in areas, such as Kennedy's hair or the eagle's feathers, while well-struck examples display sharp, crisp features. Coins with clean surfaces, minimal marks, and original mint luster are the most desirable. Another area of interest is the possibility of mint errors or minor varieties. Although the 1997 issue is not widely known for major varieties, collectors occasionally find coins with double dies, die cracks, or other anomalies. These errors can add value and interest, particularly for collectors who specialize in error coins. The 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar also holds a place within the broader historical context of U.S. coinage. By this time, the production of half dollars was largely driven by collector demand rather than everyday use. This shift reflects broader changes in the economy and the way people handle money. The coin serves as a reminder of a denomination that was once widely used but has since become more of a collectible item. Collectors often include the 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar in complete sets of a series, which span from 1964 to the present. These sets allow collectors to trace the evolution of the coin, from its silver origins to its modern clad composition. The 1997 D issue represents a mature stage in the series, characterized by consistent design and stable production methods. Over time, the 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar has remained accessible to collectors, making it an excellent entry point for those new to numismatics. Its affordability allows beginners to acquire high-quality examples without significant expense, while more advanced collectors may seek out coins in the highest possible grades. The coin also provides educational value, illustrating key concepts such as coin composition, mint marks, and grading. By studying the 1997 D. Kennedy half dollar, collectors can gain a deeper understanding of how coins are produced and evaluated, as well as the factors that influence their value. Something to think about. How many coins have you passed by without a second glance? How many times have you ignored the change in your hand? The truth is, valuable coins don't always come from rare gold or ancient times. Sometimes they come from everyday pocket change. Make sure to check your coins carefully, because the next time you find a Kennedy half dollar, it might not just be worth 50 cents. It could be worth much more. And if you enjoyed this journey into the world of coins, stay tuned, because there are many more hidden treasures waiting to be revealed right here on USA Coin History World.